That's crazy big, sis.
They know the first 3 initials of my name, so it's fine to call me by my nickname. They can't search me down if they don't have my full name. Okay? My real name. You're allowed to call me Ava. If this is not recording, I will personally have Prism Live hear about all of these mistakes. I do not know.
This twisting is more likely to
Okay, so you and Rabies are here.
Yes, twisting.
Why is your name Simonla?
I tried to do Simon, but instead of just doing Rabies, so I just said like
I am at Danny's shop. What about you? No, I don't think so. Unless Connie is being released now, but if not, then no. No, I want to let some people join. You should do Tisha. Because you can't jump in this game. I climbed the bench.
Yeah.
I'm lagging a lot. I climbed the bush. You're not trying hard enough.
How about you try that?
Okay, I'll get Tisha on. Oh, yeah. You're just bad at it. You're just bad at it. Okay, so we are so Sigma. Rah, rah! It's joining our run. I am actually in a live stream, dude. I'm like recording the thing.
I'm just gonna send you an email. Oh yeah, I just realized that my other mailbox.
5'8". 6'8". Okay, we're going.
Wait, which one is it?
Follow me.
Oh
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Oh no! The Pebble! You are now the local hated person. No, I'm an extractor. Now step this way. Now step this way.
Yes, I am.
Lucky coin is actually good for Daisy. Guys, leave some bandage for me. No! You joined this run uninvited. Fine. Great, I got an air horn. Let's pull this. Do not give a darn. The darns I give are none. Pebble is a distractor. But Pebble underscore 597 is horrible. Yeah. There's no 3. Or I mean, there's no point and there's no avenue. I know what an IP address is. No. Alright, I think it's time to get to the elevator. What? What are you on about? Goofy child. Get the elevator. AFK! You better die. Get in the elevator! Pebble is the cosmonaut. And the actual Pebble, like seaweed, is Riggy. Well, hello. What? Why you hack? What do you mean why you hack? It's funny. It's awesome. He just has a good gaming chair. Yeah, exactly. They're just jealous, as you say. Oh, great! Glisten is at the machine I needed to do. Oh, great! This is wonderful. Let me do. Holy guacamole, I got such a big skill set. I don't even have fingers. Why did I say that? Maybe it looks like she's plotting a big revenge. I'm sorry, Brightness, or Luminescence. G, comma, A, comma, Y, comma, Z, comma, E, comma, S, comma, T, comma, Y. No, don't get medical attention for the star's sake. Hell! Oh my god! Where'd it go? Dude! Nothing is wrong with being, lesser than G, lesser than A, lesser than Y. Oh my gosh, I got a Band-Aid! Brittany is just plotting her revenge right now. That OBO, OBO, stand OBO. Okay, at least it wasn't you. A non-completed machine. Don't mind if I do. Everyone. Sign out. name is Twisted Twisted when we don't pay attention to him. Basically, our little sister. Going and turning into a demon. That is Twisted Twisted. Also, V. Hey V, can I use your mic? Let's see you use it as you like. Why am I getting all the good stuff now?
Because you find rare weapons around.
He is not hacking, so you come down. That's what this sounded like.
She never did a single machine. Crazy, right?
Rating? Uh-oh. 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 Right, nice. Scrutiny. Hurry. None of them. Don't say that, Paige. Don't even reply to that. Kay! I'm not allowed to say that. I'm not allowed to say what I want to say because it'll get me in trouble. I really want to say it.
I got a smoke bomb.
No.
No.
It's extremely bad. Use your smoke bomb when you're near a Twisted. What? I will eat your soul. Now over here. Whoa, dude. Cosmo is right back.
I'm not surprised if Cosmo died in the game.
Ow.
And started.
I'm going to get to elevator because I want to.
Ankles! I just broke that wrist. Don't break your ankle.
I'm goofy, by the way. I'm the red 3D one. Well paced. Yay! I just don't want to get house. It's greedy, I know. I'm on 125. Ew, email. Whoa! What do I call you with my live stream, by the way? I am not calling you you. Simola. Simola? Okay, I'll call you Simola. I'm not adding you. I already chose the name and I'm gonna stick with that. Twisted, you got mad at me. I don't like Cosmo. I don't think anyone else does, but I'm making my opinion heard. Why am I lagging so much? very serious right now, Simona. Okay, I'm on my... never mind! Boston doesn't like me. Alright, dude, I'm gonna play Minecraft now. I'm not trying to do this now. You wanna say in the Dandy Club?
Alright, time to break this person's ankles.
I'm getting my ankles broken. Alright, dude, I'm actually gonna play Minecraft after I die this floor. I just gotta use my ability. Oh my god, Brightly, stop it! I'm not talking. Whenever I get a job, I'm gonna get Minecraft done. Good for you, you happy and healthy, not me if you have a kid to ask. That's the whole point. I just said I was going to do Minecraft. We can do Be Quiet Challenge. I love how Pepper just went and started laughing manically. Pepper and Bread. Two very normal people, I think. Hey, Minecraft. Minecraft! With warrior cats built.
Represent. You're looking to let out a throaty purr. All right, Fireheart. You can go and sleep now. Cinderpaw flicked up her ears in surprise. Aren't you going to check them as well? What if I miss something? No need, meowed Yellowfang. I trust you, Cinderpaw.
The old cat stretched, arching her skinny back, and then relaxed.
I've been meaning to say something to you for a while, she went on. I see so many mouse-brained cats around here that it is a real joy to find one with some sense. You've learned quickly, and you're good with sick cats. Thank you, Yellowfang! Cinderpaw burst out, her eyes round with surprise at Yellowfang's praise. Be quiet, I haven't finished. I'm getting old now, and it's time I started to think about finding an apprentice. Cinderpaw, how would you feel about becoming ThunderClan's next medicine cat? Cinderpaw leaped to her paws. Her eyes were sparkling and she quivered with excitement. Do you really mean it? She whispered. Of course I mean it, Yellowfang growled. I don't talk for the pleasure of hearing my own voice, unlike some cats. In that case, yes, Cinderpaw murmured, lifting her head with dignity. I'd like that better than anything in the whole world. Fireheart felt his heart begin to beat faster with happiness. He had worried so much for Cinderpaw, at first when he thought she might die, then when it became clear that her injured leg would stop her from becoming a warrior. He remembered how she had wondered desperately what she could make of her life. And now it looked as if Yellowfang had found the perfect solution. Seeing the young she-cat so happy and excited about the future was more than Fireheart had ever hoped for. Fireheart went back to the warrior's den on lighter paws to share fresh kill with Sandstorm, and then to sleep. When he awoke, the light in the den was red from the rays of the setting sun. Graystripe was nudging him. Wake up, his friend meowed. Bluestar's just called a meeting. Fireheart left the den to find Bluestar already standing on the top of High Rock. Yellowfang was beside her, and when all the cats were assembled, it was the old medicine cat who spoke first. Cats of ThunderClan, she rasped. I have an announcement to make. As you know, I am not a young cat. It is time I took an apprentice, so I have chosen the only cat I can put up with. Yellowfang let out an amused purr. And the only cat who can put up with me. Your next medicine cat will be Cinderpaw. A chorus of pleased meows broke out. Cinderpaw sat at the front of the rock, her eyes shining and her fur sleekly groomed. She lowered her head shyly as the clan congratulated her. Cinderpaw. Bluestar made herself heard above the noise. Do you accept the post of apprentice to Yellowfang? Cinderpaw lifted her head to look up at her leader. Yes, Bluestar. Then at the half moon, you must travel to Mothermouth to be accepted by StarClan before the other medicine cats. The good wishes of our ThunderClan will go with you. Yellowfang half jumped, half slithered down from the rock, and padded up to Cinderpaw to touch noses with her. Then the rest of the clan gathered around the new apprentice. Fireheart caught sight of Brackenpaw pressing close to his sister, his eyes glowing with pride, and Nedivine Tigerclaw went up to her and meowed a few words. It was clear that Cinderpaw was a popular choice for this important position. As he waited to give Cinderpaw his congratulations, Fireheart could not help wishing that all his own problems could be solved as smoothly. The sun began to set for the third time since Fireheart had almost drowned. The young warrior was washing himself outside his den, scraping his tongue across his fur. He kept imagining that he could still taste the muddy water. As he twisted his head to wash his back, he heard the pad of approaching paws and looked up to see Tigerclaw looming over him. Bluestar wants you to go to the gathering, the deputy growled. Meet her outside her den, and bring Sandstorm and Graystripe. He stalked away before Fireheart could reply. Fireheart got up and stretched. Glancing around, he spotted Graystripe and Sandstorm eating beside the patch of nettles and hurried over to join them. Bluestar's chosen us to go to the gathering, he announced. Sandstorm finished off her blackbird and swiped a pink tongue across her jaws. But can we get to the gathering? She meowed, sounding puzzled. I thought the stream was impossible to cross. Bluestar said StarClan would be angry if we didn't try, Fireheart mewed. She wants to talk to us now. Maybe she has a plan. Graystripe spoke through a mouthful of vole. I just hope she doesn't expect us to swim. In spite of his words, his eyes shone with excitement as he gulped the rest of the fresh kill and sprang to his paws. Fireheart knew he must be looking forward to a chance to see Silverstream, and he wondered if they had managed to meet in the time since he and Graystripe had been caught crossing the river after their ill-fated hunting mission for RiverClan. Fireheart thought of Silverstream's kits, and he wondered how Graystripe would be able to bear seeing them grow up in another clan. Would Silverstream ever be able to tell them that Graystripe, the ThunderClan warrior, was their father? Fireheart tried to put the questions out of his mind as he and his friends crossed the clearing to the high rock. Bluestar was sitting outside her den, with Whitestorm, Mousefur, and Willowpelt already by her side. A moment later, Tigerclaw and Darkstripe joined them.
As you know, the moon is full tonight,
Bluestar began when all the cats were gathered around her.
It will be hard to get to Four Trees, but StarClan would expect us to do all we can to find a dry route. So I've chosen warriors only. This will be no journey for elders or apprentices, or queens expecting kits. Darkstripe, you led a patrol to examine the stream this morning. Report what you found.
The water's going down, meowed Darkstripe. But not fast enough. We patrolled as far as the Thunder Path, and there's nowhere a cat could cross without swimming. The stream's narrow up there, mewed Willowpelt. Could we jump across? Maybe if you grew wings, Darkstripe replied. If all you've got is your own paws, then that has to be the best place to try, insisted Whitestorm. Bluestar nodded.
We'll start there, she decided. Maybe StarClan will lead us to a safe place.
She rose to her paws and led her cats quietly out of the camp. The sun had gone down, and twilight blurred the shapes of the forest. In the distance, an owl hooted, and Fireheart could hear the rustle of prey in the undergrowth, but the warriors were too intent on their journey to hunt. Bluestar took them straight through the trees to the place where the stream emerged from a hard stone tunnel underneath the Thunder Path. Their usual route to Four Trees did not pass this close to the Thunder Path, and Fireheart wondered what his leader was planning on doing. When they reached the tunnel, he saw that floodwater spread out on either side, reflecting the pale light of the rising moon. Water covered the Thunder Path as well, and as the cats watched, they saw a monster pass by, driving slowly, throwing up a filthy wave from its round black paws. Once the monster had disappeared into the distance, Bluestar led her cats to the water's edge on the hard surface of the Thunder Path. She sniffed the water, wrinkling her nose at the stench, and cautiously put one paw into the flood.
It's shallow enough here, she meowed. We can walk up the Thunder Path until we're on the other side of the stream, and get to Four Trees along the border with ShadowClan.
Walk up the Thunder Path? Fireheart felt his coat begin to prickle with fear at the thought of deliberately following the tracks of the monsters. Cinderpaw's accident had shown him what they could do to a cat, and she had only been at the edge.
What if another monster comes?
Asked Graystripe, voicing Fireheart's fear.
We will keep to the side,
Bluestar replied calmly.
You saw how slowly that monster was moving. Maybe they don't like getting their paws wet.
Fireheart saw that Graystripe still looked doubtful. He shared his friend's worries, but there was no point in protesting anymore. Tigerclaw would just berate them for being cowards. Bluestar, wait! Called Whitestorm as the clan leader waded into the water. Remember how low our territory is on the other side of this stream? I can't help thinking we'll be flooded there too. I don't think we'll get to Four Trees without going into ShadowClan territory, which is higher. A cat close to Fireheart let out a faint hiss, and Fireheart felt another pang of fear. A band of warriors setting paw across the border of a clan with which they had recently battled? If a patrol caught them, they would think it was an invasion. Bluestar paused with water lapping over her paws and looked back at Whitestorm.
Maybe,
she acknowledged.
But we'll have to risk it, if it's the only way.
She set off again without giving her cats any time to protest. There was nothing to do but follow. Fireheart splashed along the edge of the Thunder Path just behind Whitestorm. Tiger Claw brought up the rear to keep a lookout for monsters coming up from behind. At first, everything was quiet, except for a single monster traveling in the other direction on the opposite side of the thunder path. Then Fireheart heard the familiar growling and the splash of an approaching monster. "Look out!" Tiger Claw yelled from the end of the line. Fireheart froze, pressing himself against the low wall that edged the thunder path as it crossed the stream. Darkstripe scrambled on top of it and crouched there, baring his teeth at the monster as it passed. For a moment, its strange, glittering colors were reflected in the stinking water, and a wave washed out from it, soaking Fireheart as far as his belly fur. Then it was gone, and Fireheart could breathe again. As they reached the other side of the stream, Fireheart could see that Whitestone was right. The low-lying land of the Thunder Clan's side was covered with water. There was nothing to do but continue along the edge of the thunder path until the land rose and was dry enough to walk on. Stepping thankfully off the paw-achingly hard thunder path, Fireheart raised his head and opened his jaws. A strong, rank stench filled his scent glands. The scent of Shadow Clan. They had followed the thunder path out of Thunder Clan territory, and now a swath of Shadow Clan land lay between them and a gathering at Four Trees.
We shouldn't be here,
Willowpelt murmured uneasily. If Blue Star heard the comment, she ignored it, quickening the pace until they were racing across the sodden turf. There were few trees here, and the close-cropped grass offered no cover for trespassing cats. Fireheart's heart was beating fast, and not only from the speed of their journey. If Shadow Clan cats caught them, they would be in trouble, but Four Trees was not far away, and their luck might hold. Then he caught sight of a dark shadow streaking over the ground ahead of them, on a course to intercept Blue Star at the head of her patrol. More shadows followed, and a furious yowling split the quiet of the night. For a heartbeat, Blue Star quickened her pace, as if she thought she could outrun the challengers. Then she slowed to a stop. Her warriors did the same. Fireheart stood panting. The shadows drew closer, and he saw that they were Shadow Clan cats, headed by their leader, Nightstar.
Blue Star!
He spat as he halted in front of the Thunder Clan leader.
Why have you brought your cats onto Shadow Clan land? In these floods, it was the only way to reach Four Trees,
Blue Star replied, her voice steady.
We mean no harm, Nightstar. You know there's a truce for the gathering.
Nightstar hissed, his ears flattened against his head and his fur bristling.
The truce holds at Four Trees,
he snarled.
There is no truce here.
Instinctively, Fireheart dropped into a defensive crouch. The Shadow Clan cats, apprentices and elders, as well as warriors, slipped silently into a semicircle around the smaller band of Thunder Clan. Like Nightstar, their coats were bristling and their tails lashed in anger. Their hostile eyes reflected the cold light of the moon. Fireheart knew that if it came to a fight, ThunderClan was hopelessly outnumbered.
Nightstar, I'm sorry,
mewed Blue Star.
We would never trespass on your territory without good reason. Please, let us pass.
Her words did nothing to appease the Shadow Clan cats. Cinderfur, the Shadow Clan deputy, moved up beside his leader, a dim shape in the moonlight.
I think they're here to spy,
he growled softly. Spy? Tigerclaw shouldered his way forward to stand next to Blue Star, his head thrust out towards Cinderfur until their noses were less than a mouse length apart.
What can we spy on here? We're nowhere near your camp.
Cinderfur curled back his lip to reveal thorn-sharp teeth.
Give us the word, Nightstar, and we'll tear them apart.
You can try,
growled Tigerclaw. For a few heartbeats, Nightstar was silent. Fireheart's muscles tensed. Beside him, Graystripe growled low in his throat. Mousefur barred her teeth at the nearest Shadow Clan warrior, and Sandstorm's pale green eyes shone with readiness to fight.
Keep back,
Nightstar grunted at last to his warriors.
We'll let them pass. I want ThunderClan cats at the gathering.
Though his words were friendly, he hissed them through barred teeth. Suddenly suspicious, Fireheart whispered to Graystripe.
What does he mean by that?
Graystripe shrugged.
Don't know. We've seen nothing of Shadow Clan since the flood started. Who knows what they're up to? We'll even give you an escort,
Nightstar went on, narrowing his eyes.
just to make sure you get to Four Trees safely. We wouldn't want ThunderClan to be scared off by an angry mouse, would we?
A murmur of agreement rose from the Shadow Clan warriors. They shifted so that they surrounded the ThunderClan cats on all sides. With a faint nod, Nightstar set off beside Bluestar. The other cats followed, the Shadow Clan patrol matching ThunderClan step for step. ThunderClan headed for the gathering, completely encircled by their enemies. The moon was at its height as Fireheart and the other ThunderClan cats were herded into the hollow beneath the 4 oak trees. A fierce, cold light poured down over the members of RiverClan and WindClan who were already assembled. All of them turned to stare curiously at the group descending the slope. Fireheart knew that he and the rest of his clan must look like prisoners. He stalked along proudly, head and tail held high, defying any cat to say that they had been beaten. To his relief, the Shadow Clan cats slipped away into the shadows as soon as they reached the hollow. Bluestar headed straight for the great rock with Tigerclaw at her side. Fireheart looked around for Graystripe and found that his friend had already disappeared. A moment later, he caught sight of him approaching Silverstream, but the Silver Tabby was surrounded by other RiverClan cats, and Graystripe could only hover nearby, looking frustrated. Fireheart suppressed a sigh. He knew how much Graystripe must be longing to see Silverstream again, especially now she was expecting kits. But there was a huge risk in meeting at a gathering, where any cat could catch them together.
What's up with you?
Mousefur made him jump.
You look like you've got something on your mind.
Fireheart stared at the brown warrior. I was thinking about what Nightstar said, he improvised rapidly. Why did he say he wants ThunderClan cats here?
Well, I'm sure one thing. He's not being kind and helpful,
Sandstorm mewed, coming up with Willowpelt beside her. She licked one paw and drew it over her ear.
We'll find out soon enough. Trouble's coming.
Willowpelt meowed over one shoulder as she went to join a group of WindClan queens.
I can feel it in my paws.
Uneasier than ever, Fireheart padded back and forth under the trees, listening with one ear to the cats around him. Most of them were sharing harmless gossip, catching up on news from other clans, and he heard nothing about what Shadow Clan was planning. He noticed, though, that all the Shadow Clan cats he passed glared at him, still fiercely hostile. And he caught one or two of them glancing up at the great rock, as if they were impatient for the meeting to start. At last, a yowling sounded from the top of the rock, and the murmuring from the cats below died away. Fireheart found a place at the edge of the hollow where he had a good view of the 4 clan leaders, their silhouettes black against the sky. Sandstorm settled herself beside him, crouching with her paws tucked under her chest.
Now for it,
she whispered expectantly. Nightstar stepped forward, stiff-legged with barely suppressed fury.
Cats of all clans, listen to me,
he demanded.
Listen and remember. Until last Greenleaf, Brokenstar was leader of Shadow Clan. He was...
Tallstar, the leader of WindClan, stepped forward to stand beside Nightstar.
Why do you speak that hated name?
He growled. His eyes flashed, and Fireheart knew he was remembering how Brokenstar and his warriors had driven WindClan out of their territory.
Hated, yes,
Nightstar agreed.
and with good reason, which you know as well as any cat, Tallstar. He stole kits from ThunderClan. He forced kits from his own clan into battle too early, and they died. In the end, he was so bloodthirsty that we, his own clan, drove him out. And where is he now?
Nightstar's voice rose to a shriek.
Was he left to die in the forest, or scavenge a living among the two-legs? No, because there are cats here tonight who have taken him in. They are traitors to the warrior code, and to every other cat in the forest.
Fireheart exchanged an uneasy glance with Sandstorm. He could see what was coming, and by the troubled look she gave him in return, so could she.
ThunderClan?
Nightstar yowled.
ThunderClan is sheltering Broken Star.
Shocked and angry caterwauls rose up from the cats surrounding the great rock. Every muscle in Fireheart's body urged him to creep backward into the bushes and hide from their fury. It took all his strength to stay where he was. Sandstorm pressed against his side, as shaken as he was, and he found her warmth comforting. On the top of Great Rock, Tallstar whipped around to face Bluestar.
Is this true?
He snarled. Bluestar did not reply to him at once. With great dignity, she stepped forward and faced Nightstar. The moonlight glowed on her fur, turning it to silver, so that Fireheart could almost believe that a warrior of StarClan had leaped down from Silverpelt to join them. She waited until the noise from below had died down.
How do you know this?
She coolly asked Nightstar, when she could make herself heard.
Have you been spying on our camp? Spying?
Nightstar spat the word out.
There's no need to spy when your apprentices gossip so freely. My warriors heard this at the last gathering. Do you dare to stand here now and tell me they are wrong?
As he spoke, Fireheart remembered seeing Swiftpaw with the ShadowClan apprentices at the end of the last gathering. No wonder the young cat looked guilty. If he had been telling his friends all about ThunderClan's prisoner, so soon after Bluestar had ordered all her clan to keep quiet. Bluestar hesitated. Fireheart felt a pang of sympathy for her. Many of her own clan had been unhappy with her decision to shelter blind Brokentail. How was she going to defend herself in front of the other clans? Tallstar crouched in front of her, his ears flattened.
Is this true?
He repeated. For a moment, Bluestar did not speak. Then she lifted her head defiantly.
Yes, it's true,
she meowed.
Traitor!
Spat Tallstar.
You know what Broken Star did to us?
Bluestar's tail tips twitched. Even from his place below the rock, Fireheart could see the strain in every muscle of her body and knew she was struggling to keep calm.
No cat dares to call me traitor,
she hissed.
I dare,
retorted Tallstar.
You are nothing but a traitor to the warrior code, if you are willing to give shelter to that heap of fox dung.
All around the clearing, WindClan cats leapt to their paws, yowling in support of their leader.
Traitor! Traitor!
At the foot of the great rock, Tigerclaw and Deadfoot, the WindClan deputy, faced each other with their hackles raised, lips drawn back to show their sharp teeth, their noses no more than a mouse length apart. Fireheart sprang up too, his fighting instinct sending energy to his paws. He caught a glimpse of Willowpelt snarling at the WindClan cleans, with whom she had been sharing tongues a few moments before. A couple of ShadowClan warriors paced threateningly toward Darkstripe, and Mousefur leapt to his side, ready to attack.
Stop!
Bluestar yowled from her place on the great rock.
How can we break a truce like this? Would you risk the wrath of StarClan?
As she spoke, the moonlight began to fade. Every cat in the clearing froze. Looking up, Fireheart saw a wisp of cloud passing over the face of the moon. He shivered. Was that a warning from StarClan? Because the clans seemed about to break the sacred truce? Clouds had covered the moon once before, a sign of StarClan's anger that had brought the gathering to an end. As the cloud passed away, the moonlight strengthened again. The moment of crisis had passed. Most of the cats sat down, though they continued to glare at one another. Whitestorm pushed himself between Deadfoot and Tigerclaw, and started to mew urgently into ThunderClan Deputy's ear. On the top of the great rock, Crooked Star stepped forward to stand beside Bluestar. He looked calm. Fireheart realized that, of all the clans, RiverClan had least reason to hate Brokentail. He had not crossed the river into their territory, or stolen their kits. Bluestar, he meowed. Tell us why you have done this.
Brokentail is blind,
Bluestar replied, her voice ringing out so that every cat in the clearing could hear her.
He is an old defeated cat. He is no danger, not anymore. Would you have him starve to death in the forest? Yes!
Nightstar's voice rose, shrill and insistent.
No death is too cruel for him!
Flecks of foam spun from the Shadow Clan leader's lips. He thrust his head aggressively toward Tallstar and snarled.
Would you forgive the cat who drove you out?
For a moment, Fireheart wondered why Nightstar should be so frantic, so intent on whipping up Tallstar's hatred like this. He was a clan leader now. What harm could a blind prisoner do him? Tallstar flinched away from the Shadow Clan leader, clearly taken aback by his fury.
You know how much this means to my clan, he meowed. We will never forgive Broken Star.
Then I tell you you're wrong,
mewed Blue Star.
The warrior code tells us to show compassion. Tallstar, don't you remember what ThunderClan did for you when you were defeated and driven out? We found you and brought you home, and later we fought beside you against RiverClan. Have you forgotten what you owe us?
Far from soothing Tallstar, Blue Star's words angered the Wind Clan leader more than ever. He stalked up to her, his fur bristling.
Does ThunderClan claim to own us?
He spat out.
Is that why you brought us back? To bow to your wishes and accept your decisions without question? Do you think Wind Clan has no honor?
Blue Star bowed her head in the face of the Wind Clan leader's fury.
Tallstar,
she meowed.
You're right that no clan can own another. That is not what I meant. But remember how you felt when you were weak, and try to show compassion now. If we drive Broken Tail out to die, we're no better than he is.
Compassion?
Spat Nightstar.
Don't give us tales fit for kits, Blue Star. What compassion did Broken Star have a show?
Yowls of agreement filled the air as he spoke. Nightstar added,
You must drive him out now, Blue Star. Well, I want to know the reason why.
Blue Star's eyes narrowed into glittering blue slits.
Don't tell me how to run my clan. I'll tell you this,
Nightstar growled.
If ThunderClan keeps on sheltering Broken Star, you can expect trouble. ShadowClan will see to that. And WindClan,
snarled Tallstar. For a moment, Blue Star was silent. Fireheart knew how dangerous it was to make enemies of two clans at once, especially when some of her own cats were unhappy with her decision to take care of Broken Tail.
ThunderClan does not take orders from other clans,
she meowed at last.
We do what we think is right.
Right? Nightstar jeered.
To shelter that's bloodthirsty. Enough!
Blue Star interrupted.
No more arguments. There's other business to dissect at this gathering, or have you forgotten?
Nightstar and Tallstar exchanged a glance, and while they hesitated, Crooked Star stepped forward to report on the floods and the damage done to the RiverClan camp. They let him speak, though Fireheart didn't think that many cats were listening. The hollow was buzzing with shocked speculation about Broken Tail. Sandstorm pressed closer to Fireheart and mewed in his ear.
I knew there'd be trouble over Broken Tail as soon as Nightstar started to speak.
I know, Fireheart replied.
But Blue Star can't send him away now. It would look as if she were giving in. No cat would respect her after that, not from ThunderClan or any clan.
Sandstorm let out a low purr of agreement. Fireheart tried to concentrate on the rest of the gathering, but it was difficult. He couldn't help being aware of the hostile glares on all sides from the cats of Wind Clan and Shadow Clan, and he wished the gathering were over. It seemed a long time before the moon began to sink, and the cats began to divide into their patrols for the journey home. In silent accord, the ThunderClan warriors bounded up to Blue Star as soon as she left the Great Rock, and made a protective circle around her. Fireheart guessed they were all as uncertain as he was that the truce would hold. As the warriors formed up around Blue Star, Fireheart caught sight of One Whisker, slipping past on his way to join a group of Wind Clan cats. Their eyes met, and One Whisker paused.
I'm sorry about this, Fireheart,
he mewed softly.
I haven't forgotten how you brought us home.
Thanks, One Whisker, Fireheart replied. I wish... He broke off as Tigerclaw pushed his way into the circle of cats, glaring at them and baring his teeth at one Whisker, who backed away toward the Wind Clan cats. Fireheart braced himself for a rebuke, but the deputy stalked straight past him.
I hope you're satisfied,
Tigerclaw snarled at Bluestar as he took his place beside her.
Now 2 clans are yelling for our blood. We should have thrown that piece of vermin long ago.
Fireheart couldn't help feeling surprised by Tigerclaw's hostility toward the ThunderClan prisoner. Not long before, he had seen Tigerclaw sharing tongues with Broken Tail, as if the deputy were reconciled to the cat staying in the clan. But maybe it wasn't so surprising that he had been ruffled, as they all had, by the clash with Wind Clan and Shadow Clan.
Tigerclaw, this is no place to argue among ourselves,
Bluestar told him quietly.
When we get back to camp...
And how do you intend to get back?
It was Nightstar who interrupted, pushing his way past the ThunderClan warriors.
Not the way you came, I hope. If you set one paw on ShadowClan territory, we'll rip you to pieces.
He turned and slipped away into the shadows without waiting for a reply. For a moment, Bluestar looked confused. There was no other way back to the ThunderClan camp, Fireheart knew, unless they tried to swim the stream. He shivered at the thought of the fierce current that had almost cost him his life. Would they have to stay at Four Trees until the floodwater went down? Then he caught the scent of RiverClan and turned to see Crooked Star approaching with some of his warriors. I heard that, the pale Tabby Tom addressed Bluestar. Nightstar is wrong. At a time like this, all cats should help one another. He glanced at Fireheart as he spoke, and Fireheart guessed he was remembering how Fireheart and Greystripe had helped RiverClan by sharing prey. But none of the ThunderClan cats here, except for Bluestar, knew anything about that, and Fireheart heard some uneasy murmurings from the warriors around him. I could offer you a way home, Crooked Star continued. To get here, we cross the river by the Two-Leg Bridge. If you go that way, you could travel through our territory and cross back lower down. There's a dead tree caught up by the stepping stones. Before Bluestar could speak, Tigerclaw hissed.
And why should we trust RiverClan?
Crooked Star ignored him, his amber eyes on Bluestar as he waited for her response. She dipped her head respectfully.
Thank you, Crooked Star. We accept your offer.
The RiverClan leader nodded briefly and turned to escort her out of the clearing. There was still some muttering among the ThunderClan cats as Bluestar led her warriors through the bushes and up the slope out of the hollow. Cats from ShadowClan and WindClan hissed at them, even though RiverClan warriors flanked them protectively on both sides. Fireheart realized with a jolt that the divisions within the forest had shifted in the space of a single gathering. He was relieved when they reached the top of the slope and left the hostile gathering behind them. He noticed Greystripe trying to edge his way closer to Silverstream, but another of the RiverClan queens was in his way, giving Silverstream a lick from time to time.
You're sure you're not tired?
The queen fussed.
It's a long journey when you're expecting kids. No, Greenflower, I'm fine,
Silverstream replied patiently, casting a frustrated glance at Greystripe over her friend's head. Tigerclaw brought up the rear of the ThunderClan patrol, swinging his huge head aggressively from side to side, as if he expected the RiverClan cats to attack at any moment. Bluestar, on the other hand, seemed to be quite at ease traveling with the other clan. Once they were away from Four Trees, she let Crooked Star take the lead, while she dropped back to join Mistyfoot.
I hear you have kits,
she meowed, her voice level.
Are they well?
Mistyfoot looked slightly surprised to be addressed by the ThunderClan leader.
Two of them were swept away in the river,
she stammered.
Fireheart and Greystripe saved them. I'm sorry. You must have been frightened for them,
Bluestar murmured, her blue eyes soft with sympathy.
I'm glad ThunderClan warriors were able to help. Did your kits